Alright, so we're back with another YouTube video today, and we're going to talk about releasing. So, talked about this last night on the live stream. I want to elaborate on it a bit more. Well, not on a bit more, but really, because I know a lot of my YouTube people probably aren't over my Instagram, which, if you aren't, like, shame on you. Not really, but, we're going to go ahead and get into that. So, I was talking to people, so we were bringing up, processes of like emotional trauma and how people go through unresourceful experiences that end up, fucking them up or fucking them over, right? They go through an experience and they have a time with somebody or something and it just doesn't work out in the end of things, right? Well, a lot of, who cares? A lot of the emotional experiences that we've endured as people, and a lot of the things that we've confronted, well, a lot of the things that we've felt, we've dealt with, such as the heartbreak, mourning, loss, resentment, we're still holding on to it and we don't realize it, right? And, I'm not going to call it the worst, but I want people to realize that forgiveness is not a fucking button. I want people to realize that letting go of someone isn't as simple as just forgetting about them. Letting go of somebody isn't as simple as just, oh, we had our time, goodbye. Letting go doesn't happen up here. Yes, it may start here, but letting go on an emotional level as well has to take place. Because some of us let go mentally and we completely detach from this area, but here it's still existing. It's still there. And I brought up the example of like a volcano, basically, where the emotions that you have for these people or these events that have happened and that you still have, that you've had emotional pain or suffering or whatever type of experience with it, you might still be holding on to that and not even realize it. And one of the best ways to test that is to see how you feel if you actually experience it. So for example, and this could go on a conscious or even a subconscious level, which is I might actually talk about that in another video, subconscious triggering. That's a very interesting one. But there was, I just lost it. Hold on. Yeah, so what can happen is that you may still have those emotions within you, and it's like a volcano, and they may just be dormant. They're there, but you don't notice it because it's not active. Nothing has evoked it. Nothing has got to it. It's just sitting there, asleep, rested, and you believe that you're free. You're all good. You're out. You're moved on. And you've moved on here. Yes, this person, the memories, all that. You've mentally let that go, but emotionally it's still there. And one of the best ways to test that is see how you feel if you look at that person. See what happens if you think about that event again. How does it feel when something nostalgic reminds you of that? How do you feel? And what do you do in that instance? That's one of the best ways to test if that emotional volcano is still there. If you're still emotionally latched or emotionally, there's a word for it, man, and I don't know what it's gonna be, but you're emotionally, there's still a spot in your heart that holds a place with this person, and this thing that happened, and you haven't let it go. Okay, so that brings me to the point of this video, is that if you're experiencing that, expression is what you need, because you've depressed the feeling. See, you repressed it, you suppressed it, you got rid of it, you numbed it, you depressed it. Great, you're moved on. Okay, I mean, look, for some people it works. What I'm about to give you is not the end all be all here, but it works pretty damn well. So give it a shot. If not, and if it's not resourceful, just turn it off then. There's plenty of other methods out there that might work better for you. But it can't hurt to try. It really won't. Well, yeah. You need to express. You need to get that volcano to happen. So if you're still holding on to resentment, if you, for example, let's just say there's a girl that you were really close friends with, and you liked her a fuck ton, and then you had feelings for her, and let's say she ended up falling for another guy instead of you. You saw this as like potential wife bullshit, stuff like that. Like, this is somebody that you really wanted to be in your life, and they broke your heart by not being that person, right? And now every time you see her, you can't help but just be angry. You can't help but just be frustrated. Like, you can move on about your life and be all good and free, but the moment she comes into the picture, you don't even want to be in the same fucking room. You get out, you pissed, you are angry as fuck, right? Or you're resentful, or maybe you start feeling yourself wanting to tear up. Whatever it is, right? It's trapped. It hasn't been let loose. And what you've got to do is express. Not to them, not to anybody but yourself. You have to, and there's multiple ways you can do this, but my preferred method is on the emotional level, because it's the emotional baggage that you're holding on to. Therefore, the emotional level is the only one I feel can shed that off. Everything else would be a great gateway to get you there, but it has to be shed off at that emotional level. And what you essentially need to do is take that experience and do what I like to call bioenergetic catharsis. You need to allow that trigger to happen. You need to think about that person. You need to think about that event. You need to think about the pain associated with it, and you need to get that volcano going. And once you got that volcano going, you need to full-fledged just... Alright? Let that shit out. It has to go all the way. Because if you suppress that, and it continues to stay there, you're just... Well, nothing really bad might happen in your case, to be honest. But that's how you got to let go of that emotional baggage. If you're looking to let go, truly let go of these things, truly let go of these feelings, let go of resentment completely. If you are for real about releasing the emotional baggage you have, you've got to express through breakdowns, through physical means, through emotional, right? I know people will say, you can write poetry and stuff like that. What you really need to do is you need to vocalize. You need to move. You need to do things on the physical level that express the actual emotion. See, the energy's there, and it's happening in the body, so it's got to be let out through the body. That's why bioenergetic catharsis works so well. Is just whatever emotion comes up, you have to allow whatever blockades have been formed in your body to release and break those patterns, right? You're gonna slowly find yourself, as you release the emotion and allow that volcano to truly just wash away. So, before I was so rudely interrupted, where was I? So yeah, physical expression. It's one thing to let go from the mind. It's one thing to let it all come out through. It's one thing to let go and to wean this person out of your life and push them away and create the separation and allow you guys to drift off. It's one thing to have that. It's another to let go of the feelings, to let go of the pain that was caused as a result of that. There is a peace that you won't achieve by letting go mentally that you will on an emotional level, and that is through confronting. It is facing that emotion. It is understanding how you feel is valid, and it is being vulnerable enough to experience. I'm sorry for the background noise. It is through experiencing that feeling and to just let it fly the fuck loose. Look, poetry, writing, talking, that's all nice to get some evoking response and to let loose. It's nice for acknowledging for the emotion. It's nice if you're trying to like, for example, if y'all go on my Instagram, y'all might see some of the poems I write. That's me being active with the emotion, but that is not the act of letting go. That is not the thing that is helping me release myself. If anything, that's just the thing that's helping me accept the way I feel and be okay with it. It's another to completely shake the fucking shit out and truly get to that emotional cavern and to erupt. And erupt till the point, even if you have to do it multiple times, continuously erupting until the lava's fucking dry. And the more you do it, the more peace you will find. But just because you start to find a little bit of peace doesn't mean you stop. You keep doing it until you find peace. I don't know how loud that is. You keep doing it until you find the peace. Alright, I'm going to end the video now because it's getting really loud in here. I'll talk to y'all next time.